Hey, it's Guy here from Guide Adventure Wars, but you knew that already. And some of you have noticed that in the background there's some stuff going on. I'm getting ready for D&D in a Castle in November, which is my vampire-themed event, which I'm doing quite a lot of models for. I'm very, very excited. The skull, as a matter of fact, in case you are coming to D&D in a Castle and watch this video, has nothing to do with it whatsoever. That is for our Halloween party, which we will be hosting on Halloween. Which is why it's for our Halloween party. Anyway, I get sidetracked. Right, so some good ideas from you folks last week based on coming up with some ideas for exactly what we can do with the Chiselhurst Caves Rumble. I have created the map, and the map did take me quite some time. Now, let's just say that technical gremlins got into the system. And I ended up recording about 3.5 hours, give or take, of my Amazon Music player playing the music rather than the map that I was making whilst listening to the music. So what we have is just the final product. And of course, this map will be available to my patrons. That's patreon.com/greatgamemaster. If you want to grab this map at the end of the month, it was made in Dungeon Fog. That's www.dungeonfog.com. And yeah, I'm quite proud of it. It's a big map, relatively speaking, but it had to be. Because remember, we needed to have 3 different zones at the very least, and I realized we actually needed to have 4 zones, especially because the adventure is not one of those linear, this happens, then this happens, then this happens, then that happens. It's more of a nebulous, this has happened, now see what you make of. Without any more delay, here is the map. There it is down there. You can see it down there. It's a little bit vague at the moment because it's too zoomed out. Now, if you recall, cast your minds back, think upon it, or just watch last week's video. I said that we needed a focal point. We needed something that was going to bring everyone together. And I think you can see what it is that I have put in for my focal point. I decided on an arena. And why? Why did I decide upon an arena? So let's just zoom in there on the arena. Right, thank you very much. Now, as I was building this, and this is what frequently happens, by the way, I said, okay, let's put an arena in. Let's say that we are in these caves, and these cave systems somehow suck people from different time periods, from different cultures together. Why? Why would they do it? What on earth would be the motivation? Right? So I was like, okay, well, what if we were doing this kind of like Predator, the film series, where it's looking for the strongest, looking for the best, looking for the brightest, looking for the most resilient. But instead of taking over an entire planet, whoever is doing this has gone, okay, just bringing in the best warrior doesn't make that culture the best. That warrior might have teams of trainers behind them, they might have advanced technologies, they might have amazing survival skills. So the culture that made this amazing warrior needs to be as robust as the warrior. So transpose an entire village to this arena and see how well they survive under adverse conditions, and that will give us who is the most dominant, who is the best culture out there. So that was my initial thinking. And then I was like, okay, well, the arena makes sense. And as I was building the arena, I had these 4 blocks, and you can see them. There's one there, there's another one there, there's another one there, and there's another one there. Now, you can see in the video this golden ring. That's actually the top of an urn that I had put there, and I was just going to have fire at the top of that urn. And I was like, okay, this just makes the arena look, it just makes the arena look cool, right? That you've got these 4 burning posts, and then you go, but fire inside caves without an exit point generally leads to the death of everyone through smoke inhalation. So that's not a good idea. And then I went, but what if our abductors, the people who bring everybody to this place, what if they watch? They're going to need somewhere that they can watch from. So then I slapped these stone thrones on top, and I was like, oh, visually, how cool is it that the PCs get brought to this place? They start a combat in this arena, which is not a very big arena. It's 20 by 20, so it's very close quarters combat. And everybody's watching because everyone's got a vested interest in this, because the winner will get a prize or, get more rice or grain or something. And then on top of these pillars, looking down into the arena, are these 4 thrones where these individuals sit magnanimously looking down at this whole contest. But it can't be the real people, because otherwise the PCs, I dominate person, or I do this, or I do that on them, right? So these are illusions of these people, almost like holograms, right? Watching this combat from going on. Because they are trying to find the best and brightest warriors, which means they have to assume, if they are trying to do this, that those best and bright warriors will rebel against the system and will be capable enough of overcoming the system. So the system needs to be as safe as it possibly can. These are illusions that are representing them, so that people are aware that there are these super abductors who have taken these different cultures, but not actually accessible. Okay, good. Now we have this arena where these combats happen, and half of it is in pristine condition and half of it is in ruined condition. Because I thought, well, once again, let's represent that battle has taken place and that there are 4 sides. So, orcs, elves, dwarves, PCs. And so when I had 8 sides, I was like, yeah, 2 each. It's not as neat and elegant. It doesn't force them to sit next to each other as much. Could also represent that at one stage they used to bring in 8 cultures rather than just the 4 cultures. So there's that possibility too. Yeah. So lot of stuff going on. Again, we don't know the final adventure necessarily. I then said, right, I now need to build the 4 areas. Not in the style of Chislehurst, but just in the way of having the different zones. So the PC section is blank. It's absolutely blank, blankety blank, Mac blank. And they are going to have to survive in this blank space. Then we have the elves, and the elves have got ballistae, they've got their maps, they've got their planning, they've got their artwork on the walls, beautiful statues, neat orderly beds, cooking areas, and that sort of thing. Then they've got pigs and vegetables, and that's it. That's their space. And they've got access to water. So there's no water shortage. So that's the elves. And I kind of toned it vaguely green. You can see a very slight green tinge to the whole thing. I didn't want to overdo it. We then have the orcs, and the orcs, tinted red, have got similar kind of stuff. They've got a big war chief throne. They've got a practice area. I wanted to make it feel more orky, and they're growing the mushrooms because I love that mushroom growing story. And so they're growing the mushrooms, and they've also got water supply, so again, no shortage. And then their sleeping chambers. And it was just about trying to make it as different from the elves as possible. And then you have the steampunky dwarves who've got dwarvish cannons. They have a prison cell. They've got their forge. And research areas and things. They've also got their water, but they don't have food. They don't have any food. So remember, it was about driving that need, want, and have. And so the dwarves don't have any food. They don't have anywhere to grow that food. So those are the 3 different areas. And then I was like, well, the players need to be guided on what the outcome should be so they know what they're aiming for. And that means they need to know how they're going to get out. And that requires an exit. And this is my exit. Surrounded by dead bodies of individuals who have tried to exit before being given permission. And these 2 giant statues with the purple light shine down, and anybody walking through gets zapped immediately and taken out. And there's a crow that I included. The crow is the messenger voice piece of these entities. The crow will announce the match is about to begin. The crow will announce who may exit, which is the winning culture or the losing culture. Again, that is yet to be determined how the rules actually work. There is my take on the Chislehurst Caves and how to make these 3 cultures that sort of sit together, create some scarcity, create a lot of viability, and see what we end up with. It also allows me to do something that I Don't have many players who've done this, but I as a player like to do this, who want to decorate their own area. So the player area is blank. It's like, well, what do you come up with? What do you come with? Where are you coming from? Let's build that into the narrative. So there we go. Those are my thoughts on how to translate Chislehurst into a map and into sort of an adventure. Next week we will look at the actual adventure. And yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. Really would be keen to hear what you have to say. Of course, that bell button, if you click on it, will alert you to when new videos drop. And until we meet again next week, all I have to say is a massive thank you to all of you for watching this video and to the patrons, and happy adventure creation.